Hello, welcome to the video. It's been a very long time. I know it's been about 4 weeks I think since my last video. I've been in Scotland on holiday, had a great time, missed my M2. It's glad to be back. I'm back filming again. So today we're going to be doing a video with the C43 AMG. I've got an M2. I post a lot of content about M cars and Beamers, but my most watched video is my dad's C43 AMG. So give the people what they want. We're going to do another video today. So we're going to do 5 things I hate, 5 things he hates. He's going to talk about it. I'll let him do his thing. And yeah, it's good to be back. So let's begin.
Okay, the first thing, and it's not the most important thing, but one of the first things that I don't... Well, there's nothing I hate about the AMG. But my son's asked me to find maybe 5 things that annoy me slightly. So one of them is the fact that it doesn't have the one man, one engine badge, okay? But it's not that I don't dislike the fact that I haven't got the badge. I dislike the fact that some people are quite snobbish about that. Now, this is a C43 AMG built by AMG, but it's factory production. So one man didn't spend all afternoon putting the bits together. It was built on an assembly line by lots of different people, but they are AMG parts. They're just as good, probably slightly better, than one man having a bad Friday afternoon thinking about an argument with his girlfriend, or maybe trying to get off work a little bit early and assembling an engine. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fantastic engine.
It is, yeah. I mean, one guy might be poor at putting one part of the engine together. Who knows? Maybe he takes his mind off it and he forgets to grease the head gasket. I don't know. But these are built by robots or by people who fit the same bit over and over again and never get it wrong. This is as an AMG as a C63 is an AMG.
You can tell that's your biggest gripe.
Pure and simple, yes. It's the snobbery that I dislike, not the fact that it wasn't built by one man. But it's a nice to have, don't get me wrong. I'll probably make my own little badge.
Point 2.
Point 2, when I first got the car, I didn't realise that it doesn't have a great turning circle. And on the second day of ownership, I did a U-turn on the T-junction and I understeered and I rammed the alloys into the curb and it cut out quite a large chunk of the rim. And that's the second day I had the car, so that was really annoying. And I found at other times when I was parking quite close to the curb, because the profile of the tyres is quite small, it's quite easy to gash these rims. So I think I did them all over the course of about 2 years. So I took it to Mercedes and asked them to recondition the wheels, which they did, and they cost about £100 each, and it was well worth doing. And since then, touch wood, I've never done it since. But if there are ways of protecting the rims, perhaps, I don't know, but maybe having a profile on a slightly different tyre with a higher profile, which pushes protects the alloys against curb damage, that I don't know about. Maybe somebody could tell me, but it is one of the things I really disliked, especially the fact that I did it as soon as I owned the car. Yeah. But now I'm a lot more cautious with it, and sometimes I let the auto park function park it for me when there's not many people around, and that never gets it wrong. But I've reconditioned the alloys and they look perfect now. Another thing that's slightly annoying, but it's really not a big deal, and I understand why it happens. But can you imagine, in the summer, you want to have the sunroof open, because the sunroof lets the heat out that's at the top of the car, naturally. But at the same time, I think it'd be a nice idea to have the shade, the blind, come over at the same time. So you've got the sunroof open, and the blind is cutting out the sunlight coming in. But you can't have both. But I understand why. It's probably because if you were to have the blind closed, if you were to have the blind closed, can you see it, Rob?
Yeah, I can see it, don't worry.
And the sunroof open, even if it was tilted upwards, the suction may possibly damage the damage the netting. So I understand why. It just seems like counterintuitive, really. You want to keep the sunlight out and let the heat out. You can't have both. Another thing that's slightly odd about the C43, I think the C63 actually handles it better, but it is the sunroof when it's fully open. It just looks a little bit ungainly, a little bit untidy. The fact that it stands off the back of the roof, maybe about, I don't know, 3-4 inches, it just looks a little bit inelegant, to put it that way. So it's absolutely fine, don't get me wrong, but it could possibly follow the profile of the roof a little bit more, which I think the C63 does, but it's not a biggie, you know. And at high speed, I'll put it down anyway. Okay, to end on a positive note, a nice note, when I first bought the car, I didn't realise it had this nice little feature. A little blue dash as it comes on. Nice.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Dad's got about a year left on his C43. Ooh, it's a little bit bright. Let's drop it down. Drop it down. Dog. Dad's got about a year left on his C43. We're kind of trying to work out where to go from here. Maybe you can keep the car. Maybe he upgrades to a 63. I personally think it's not worth the jump. Or maybe he gets an AMG GT. Let me know in the comments, etc, etc. But thank you very much, Dad, for the video. And I'll see you later in the next one.